After 6 years, I'm quitting sales. Salespeople are hard to recruit. They're even more difficult to manage, and they come with a lot of overhead. But you can only quit the sales world like I did if you change these two things about your business. I've been in this world of high ticket sales for about 6 years now, and I've sold things on the phone for $997, and I've sold things on the phone for $100,000. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that salespeople and sales teams are completely irrelevant if you can start marketing like Steve Jobs at Apple, and you can start fulfilling like Jeff Bezos at Amazon. There are no salespeople in those companies. So how can your marketing department make your sales department completely irrelevant? Our job is to figure out what our customers want before they do. People don't know what they want until you show them. Steve Jobs. So how do we figure out what our customers want? Well, I filmed another YouTube video on how to ask better questions so you can write better copy. I'll put it on the screen here and link it in the description below for you. But if you can really start to take inventory of your audience and start to survey your audience and ask them very pointed, powerful questions that invoke emotion, you can take that information, that feedback that you're getting from that survey and those survey responses and really start to speak directly to your audience using their words. It's when we really start to invoke that emotion and we raise awareness and we agitate that problem that there's not going to be a need for salespeople to sit on the other end. The best copywriters I know in my world are Nick Fisher and Sean Vosslers, and these guys are such keyboard warriors and so creative with their words that black and white text alone on a screen can sell a $5,000 product, a $10,000 product. There is no need for sales teams in a lot of what they do. These guys are so good with writing alone and invoking emotion through copywriting alone that they look like Isaiah Thomas going up against Michael Jordan. They played against each other, but you really don't hear them in the same sentence. In the info high ticket space, it's pretty well known that you can sell a price point of around $997 or $1,997, $2,000 just through an evergreen webinar. There's really no need for a sales team for price points that sit below $2,000 if you can write good enough copy and target a good enough audience. Now, I have seen world-class copywriters like Nick Fisher be able to sell $5,000 products, $10,000 products with copy alone. So it's definitely possible, but now you're looking for a unicorn of a copywriter to really start to write and invoke that emotion through the audience that you're targeting for you. And unicorns are very hard to find. Now, what about having better fulfillment? Well, 2-day shipping and unlimited returns has built a $30 billion empire for Amazon on just Prime subscriptions alone. We see our customers as guests invited to a party, and we are the hosts. Jeff Bezos. Long-term, a good product and good fulfillment will always win, because you can be a bad guy or a girl, especially in the info marketing space, and you can make it 3 to 5 years before people catch up. You just only share the stories and the testimonials of the 1% that are winning. You have a good enough copywriter sitting on the front end. You have sleazy salespeople sitting on the phone that are selling for a product that they don't believe in, and you'll make it. I've seen businesses do 20, 30, $40 million a year just by having a 1% success rate on their fulfillment now. They just handpick those stories that they want to tell. The bad guys can agitate your problem so far, put you on a good enough phone with a good enough sales rep, use a framework like the one that I talk about in this video here on my high ticket sales framework. I'll link it below. That framework that I outlined in that video alone, if used the wrong way, is incredibly manipulative. And if you have some good copy and good video creative sitting on the front end, and you have a good enough salesperson sitting in the middle, it does not matter what the fulfillment looks like on the back end. You can run still a $30 million business. I hate to say it, it's a terrible thing to say, but it's totally possible. I see it time and time and time and time again. Just look at guys like Pace Morby. He's only 5 years into the educational space of creative finance and real estate right now, but I can tell you that guy is going to make it 50 years. He'll make it 500 years. The fulfillment and the community that he has built around what he does is absolutely unmatched. No one can touch what he does with a 10-foot pole. He doesn't have to have a sales team to sell anything for him. He could sell everything through webinars and card checkouts. He could send an email and make $1 million, I bet. When you have a product that is so good and fulfillment is so good, there is no need for a salesperson. I was a firefighter for a few years when I was younger, and I'd like to make this analogy for you about a fire triangle and then marketing, sales, and fulfillment. And that is, to have a fire, you need heat, a fuel source, and oxygen. If you take one of those things away, you have no fire. If you take away oxygen, like putting a cap on top of a candle, there is no more fire. Now, in business, if you take away either marketing, sales, or fulfillment, you can still win, believe it or not. You just won't win long term, and your clock will be ticking. And that's why I'm retiring from sales. Even though one of my employees, Khalid, would tell me that I'm not a real marketer, I am hanging up my headset at this point in time, and I'm trading it in for a keyboard, and I'm going to see what comes of it. I am a marketer.